Hi, and welcome back to Memory Bootcamp Online. We are now in Module 3, and in this video, we are working with Topic 2, putting names to faces. One of the most common difficulties that we hear about is the ability to connect a name to a face. This is a task we are often confronted with in our daily lives. And when you think about it, the task is really to connect a face, which is a complicated image, to a set of sounds that seem somewhat arbitrary. And this can make it really difficult to remember. Now, humans are really good at processing faces, but that is still a lot of information to be able to connect to a set of sounds. Well, today we will practice using a strategy to help you remember faces and names. One of the things that's really important, though, is to remember that we are really focused on the strategy itself, not so much the people you will see. So although this will help with one of the most common difficulties, putting names to faces, this strategy can be used in many different situations that we will discuss at the end. To practice any strategy, we do need some material. Because we also wanted to at least try to practice with faces and names, we decided to use Nova Scotia's Sport Hall of Fame Top 15. So remember, this is just about the strategy. However, we are going to practice with faces and names. See if you can tie some details of the person to the name, just as we go along, but don't think about it too hard. Ready? Here we go. Aileen Mayer, track and field. Al McInnes, hockey. Colleen Jones, curling. Ante Jazic, soccer. Ellie Black, gymnastics. Mark de Jong, paddling. Karen Furneaux, paddling. Sam Langford, boxing. Nancy Garapic, swimming. Sidney Crosby, hockey. Now I know this might seem like a lot of names and faces. Some of them might even be familiar, but now we're going to practice retrieving them. Ready? Aileen Mayer, track and field. See if you can get the name before the name comes up. Al McInnes, hockey. Colleen Jones, curling. Ante Jazic, soccer. Ellie Black, gymnastics. Mark de Jong, paddling. Karen Furneaux, paddling. Sam Langford, boxing. Nancy Garapic, swimming. Sidney Crosby, hockey. So, spaced retrieval literally means to practice retrieving the information that you want to remember. It is not simple repetition. That's actually a different strategy altogether, and that would be one that would enhance receiving, not retrieving. So we are practicing distracting ourselves a little bit, even by working to understand what spaced retrieval is right now. It makes it hard for you to repeat the names of the people that we just met. You ready? We're going to try again though. Time to test ourselves. Aileen Mayer, track and field. Al McInnes, hockey. Colleen Jones, curling. Ante Jazic, soccer. Ellie Black, gymnastics. Mark DeYoung, paddling. Karen Furneaux, paddling. Sam Langford, boxing. Nancy Garapic, swimming. Sidney Crosby, hockey. So, spaced retrieval, again, is practicing retrieving of information. And we want to start with short intervals with distraction, just like that initial information piece between practice sessions there started with a distraction that you couldn't really pay attention to if you were going to keep repeating the names. Now, gradually lengthen the time when you have success. So if you can remember the whole list without making a mistake, then you can take a longer period of time between the times that you practice retrieving the information. On the other side of it, if you make mistakes, that's okay. Just shorten the time again and go over it and make sure that you get everybody correct. And then you can begin to lengthen the time again. Remember, it's not simple repetition. We want to do this with distraction because the real purpose is to test yourself. Retrieval is an active process. We really need to recreate the initial information links, pull all of those nodes back up, and each retrieval improves consolidation of the links in the memory trace. You ready? Aileen Mayer, track and field. Al McInnes, hockey. Colleen Jones, curling. Ante Jazic, soccer. Ellie Black, gymnastics. Mark DeYoung, paddling. Karen Furneaux, paddling. Sam Langford, boxing. Nancy Garapic, swimming. Sidney Crosby, hockey. So now remember, the point of this was to teach the strategy itself, not so much whether or not you can remember the names and faces of the Nova Scotia Sports Hall of Fame. But you can apply this to other names, people you might want to get to know in your community, or to other information like remembering to do a task in the near future, such as remembering I need to return a library book, or remembering your parking spot, as often they have letter number combinations that can help you remember the spot. This could also be used instead of the memory path, and can use it to remember a short list, practice your times tables, or even remembering a poem or a passage or a quote. And of course, trying not to forget an intention, something that you mean to do in the future. One of the things that you can do to take care of those intervals and to gradually lengthen the time between those intervals when you're trying to remember the information is to use an alarm or a timer. And as you improve with this, you may not need them anymore, but they certainly can be helpful to begin with. Well, that's it for topic 2. I hope you've enjoyed it, and you can look forward to a demonstration where we will practice more of spaced retrieval.